Good morning. We're continuing in our study of the Beatitudes, and we're in Matthew chapter 5, and we're in verse 9 specifically, the last two. We're the last two of the Beatitudes, and then we'll be done with those. Matthew chapter 5, beginning in verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Have you ever had a significant injury? I don't mean something like you scraped your elbow or bonked your head or something like that. I mean a pretty significant injury, maybe one that you even had to go to the hospital for. Back about 2 years ago, you may remember that I actually broke my back. It was rather embarrassing. It was because I was trying to be a good dad. I was trying to play with my son, my 4-year-old little David at the time, on a trampoline that was clearly not designed for a 35-year-old man. It was designed for a 5-year-old, just not a 35-year-old man, especially not me. And came down on my bottom, bouncing on my bottom and bouncing on my feet, and I came down on my bottom, hit bare concrete, and cracked L1 and L2 in my back, in the central part of the back of the bottom of my back. I have broken fingers. I've broken this finger. I've broken wrists. I've broken arms. I've dislocated shoulders. I've dislocated my hip. I have broken my foot. And nothing compared to the type of pain that was there when I broke my back. It was like my whole body just seized up. It was overcompensating for the injury. And I rode back to Columbia. We went to the emergency room. They did scans, everything, all while I was just in crazy amounts of pain. And I remember when they flipped me over on my back and put a shot in my back to calm the area down. My muscles had done this, they had tensed up, and it was just a shot, and it just calmed everything down. And pain was still there, but it was like, I can breathe again, at least, right? You ever had that happen? You ever had something hurt and you reset a bone or reset something, like you pulled your shoulder out of socket and you put it back, and it's just like this, it's just like this instant relief. You ever had a big horrible scrape or scratch on your arm and it hurts real bad, and you put an ointment on it and it just soothes that ointment? That's what being a peacemaker is like. You come into a situation, you read a post on social media, and by your actions and by what you say, you just calm everything down. Sometimes it's instant, sometimes not. But how many people do you know that are peacemakers in your life? Maybe you're a peacemaker. Maybe sometimes you try to make peace with other people. And what does Jesus say here when he means for us to be peacemakers? Well, if you follow the progression here, there are so many different things here that we're talking about. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who mourn. Blessed are the meek, those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are those who are pure in heart. And then we get to verse 9. It becomes the missional part of the Beatitudes. All the other ones were about you, yourself, how you should act, how you should conduct yourself, about your personal walk with God. And then he turns it outward. And he says, you're to be a peacemaker. This is evangelism. This is a mission. That's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Being a peacemaker to all. I don't know if you've thought about what a bridge does for us, or how many bridges there are. I went to a summer camp last week in Camp Maribah in Centerville. Centerville's not that far. It's 35 minutes away from Columbia here. And there was about 20 kids at that summer camp, and I spoke to them about this subject, and I counted the bridges on the way there. You know how many bridges I crossed just going to Centerville? 22. That's pretty amazing. And I probably missed some. There are 614,000 bridges in America. Over 188 million people cross over a bridge every single day. One of the first steps in a war, I was in Iraq in late 2000 or early 2003. And one of the first steps in war is to bomb bridges, to prevent your enemy from having access to the things that they need to have. And even if it's your own infrastructure, you destroy those things that give them access. And bridges are a big deal when it comes to going out into the wilderness, going out into the middle of nowhere. Bridges can be a lifesaver, save you days of travel just by having a bridge. I've watched Navy construction teams build bridges in hours. It's amazing. That's what we're supposed to be as peacemakers. We're supposed to build those bridges to one another. We're supposed to build those bridges with ourselves and with God. We're supposed to have that personal relationship with God, that salvation with God. And then we are supposed to point other people to God. We're going to help others make peace with God. So as we ourselves think about being peacemakers this week, I hope that you'll remember that you're a bridge and you're a calming ointment. You're like that shot in the back that I had that just immediately calms stuff down. You're the calming ointment on somebody's scrape or bruise. You're also the bridge that brings people together. Let's bring people together, not drive them far apart, but let's bring people together with everything that we say, everything that we do, everything that we post here on social media. Let's be peacemakers this week.